السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته شيخنا. أحسن الله إليك.
أمين وإياكم أبو عامر. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
We are late to class today. Can we go now?
نعم نقول شيخنا.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أما بعد. We just ended in our last classes the discusses about Al-Rifq. We ended the chapter that Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri referred to as Babur-Rifq. He called it the chapter about being gentle, being lenient, being a very careful person, thinking things out properly before you say them or before you do them, being calm in your affairs while still being kind to the people. This is all that is involved in that word Al-Rifq. Al-Rifq involves being a calm and sedate person, far from being harsh and coarse and doing things hastily without looking at them properly and just acting. All of these negate that word Al-Rifq. In the very last class, we read the hadith when the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, when our mother Aisha, radiyallahu anha, she was riding a camel, and then the camel became discordant. The camel was not moving properly. It became troublesome. And she said, radiyallahu anha, فَجَعَلْتُ أَدْرِبُهُ. So I went on and I began to beat that camel. I wanted the camel to move by all means. And then the Prophet came, sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, and said to her, alayki bi-rifqi, take to gentleness, O Aisha, alayki bi-rifq, take to gentleness, O Aisha, فَإِنَّهُ لَا يَكُونُ فِي شَيْءٍ إِلَّا زَانَهُ. Because being gentle and kind, being careful in anything, when you bring it into something, zanahu, it will beautify that thing. So you will imagine that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam was even encouraging Al-Rifq in the matter of riding a beast. So she was riding her camel. The camel was becoming difficult, not moving. Yet the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was encouraging her to employ Al-Rifq, to employ gentleness in the way she attempts to make that animal move. Because if she brings in gentleness in it, zanahu, gentleness, carefulness, kindness, while trying to make the animal move, it will beautify it. It will help the animal itself to move. And anyone who is very familiar with camels can understand. Beating the camel, troubling the camel, and pushing the camel, treating it in a way that you can consider rough itself is very dangerous. Because camels, like donkeys, like the zebra, they have a kick. Just like cows too, they have a kick that they give when they become annoyed. So if gentleness was not employed in how you try to make that camel to walk, it will become more discordant, and you can make it become angry, and it can attack you. So when we employ gentleness and kindness in our affairs, zanahu, gentleness and rifku will bring beauty in any affair that it was employed. وَلَا يُنْزَعُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا شَانَهُ لَا يُنْزَعُ مِنْ شَيْءٍ إِلَّا شَانَهُ. It does not become removed from a matter, except that you're removing gentleness from a matter, shanahu, it will bring faults and error to that matter. Anybody who sees it would understand that this thing was done hastily. This is a hasty job. This is a quick, hasty job. This is a coarse job, not well done. Any affair, when you don't bring in gentleness and calmness, the matter becomes spoilt, because gentleness and carefulness has been removed from the matter. The last hadith we read in class yesterday was what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us about. He said, "Iyyakum wa-shuh, iyyakum wa-shuh." I warn you about greed. I caution you, don't be greedy. فَإِنَّهُ أَهْلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. Because greed or greediness, أَهْلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. We explained what ash-shuh means, and the difference between ash-shuh and what al-bukhl. Ash-shuh is the person, he will not give, and he likes to take. He likes to take, and he will not give. This is ash-shuh. But if it is al-bukhlu, he doesn't just like to give. The bakhil will not give. He holds it back. He holds back from himself. He holds back from his wife. He holds back from his children. They don't have any sense of joy. They don't have any sense of comfort, even when he has ability to bring them comfort. He holds back the rights of the people. This is al-bakhil. But ash-shahih, who is upon ash-shuhu, he holds back, but he wants to take the one that you have. This is what is referred to as what? Ash-shuhu. And that is the difference between al-bukhlu and ash-shuhu. The Prophet ﷺ warned us. He said, "Iyyakum wa-shuh." I warn you regarding ash-shuh, being greedy while craving what others have. فَإِنَّهُ أَهْلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. Because this attitude, it destroyed those who came before you, the Jews especially. It got them destroyed. سَفَكُوا دِمَاءَهُمْ. They killed themselves because of greed and avarice. He wanted the other man's property, so he looked for a way to kill him to take over his property. He wanted the other man's money, so he came and he robbed him. He wanted the other man's money, so he kidnapped him, threatening to kill him, so that the family is put into trouble, and then they begin to send him money. The root cause of all of these comes from that word ash-shuh. May Allah protect us. The Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, "Iyyakum wa-shuh." I warn you against avarice. Avarice, ash-shuh, to have greed, a high sense of greed combined with crave. May Allah protect us. فَإِنَّهُ أَهْلَكَ مَنْ كَانَ قَبْلَكُمْ. This kind of attitude destroyed those who came before you. سَفَكُوا دِمَاءَهُمْ. They killed themselves. They took their blood. وَقَطَعُوا أَرْحَامَهُمْ. And they disconnected and destroyed their family relations because of greed. Because of greed, he wants to take his brother's property. He wants to take the property of the orphans. He wants to take his friends' properties. So it will lead to destruction of good relationship, good family ties between people, when you find greed, ash-shuh, amongst them. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the unfortunate thing about that is that, about all these forms of az-zulmu, is that وَالظُّلْمُ ظُلُمَاتٌ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Quite unfortunately, All of these kinds of sinfulness, they end up in various forms of darknesses and punishments on the day of Qiyamah. In another very similar hadith, the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, فَإِنَّ الشُّحَّ أَمَرَهُمْ بِالْقَطِيعَةِ فَقَطَعُوهُ. Shuh pushed them to disconnecting family ties, and then they disconnected their family ties. وَأَمَرَهُمْ بِالْبُخْلِ فَبَخِلُوا. Shuh, avarice, encouraged them to be stingy, and so they became stingy. They will deny their wives, they will deny their children, they will deny their family members. They have the opportunity to be nice and kind to all of these people, but Ash-Shaykh prevents them. This makes us understand that from the things that contradict Al-Rifq is what? Ash-Shaykh. From the things that contradict Al-Rifq. Because the Shaykh wants to have it all. He wants to take it all. He wants to take possession. He wants to bring the rest of the people down no matter what it takes. Bring them down, take over the place. This is the Shaykh. This is the avaricious individual. He is greedy, he will not give, and he wants to take it all over. He will not give, he will deny the people. At the same time, he wants to take over the situation and dictate the pace of all that happens. This is the Shaykh. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wassalam, this negative character contradicts Al-Rifq. So he said, alayhi salam, alayhi salatu wassalam, فَإِنَّ الشُّحَّ أَمَرَهُمْ بِالْقَطِيعَةِ فَقَطَعُوا. It pushed them to break family ties. So they destroyed the family ties. They did not care because of greed. وَأَمَرَهُمْ بِالْبُخْلِ فَبَخِلُوا. It also encouraged and pushed them towards being greedy. And then they became very, very greedy. وَأَمَرَهُمْ بِالْفُجُورِ فَفَجَرُوا. Greediness also, avarice also pushed them to fujur, criminality. So one of the things that push the people to become criminals, when people steal money from the coffers of government, one of the things that pushes them to that is what? Ash-Shaykh. That unrestricted sense of possession. He wants to possess it all. So you see one single individual will steal money running to hundreds of billions. It's about Shaykh. He is greedy, and then he wants to take what belongs to others. He would not give. He also wants to take possession from others. These were the lessons we had been engaged in the last few classes. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easy for us, protect us from these negative characters, and make us be from the people of Al-Rifq, people who take things carefully, people who do things out of carefulness, out of a high sense of dignity, al-haya, those who abstain from being unnecessarily harsh and coarse. May Allah grant us all of these positive characters and keep these negative characters away from us. Today, inshallah, we'll be looking at another bab connected to Al-Rifq that Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri has titled as Al-Rifq fil Ma'isha. So he calls it Babur Rifq fil Ma'isha. Babun Ar-Rifq fil Ma'isha. Or you can also read it and say Babur Rifq fil Ma'isha. The chapter about being calm, being careful. You can call it moderation fil Ma'isha. Being moderate in your life affairs. You want to eat food, be moderate. You want to buy clothes to wear, be moderate. You want to buy shoes, be moderate. You want to build a house, make it be moderate. Be moderate in your affairs. Be balanced in your affairs. Don't go to, it is not even about comfort in our own times now. It is about luxury we're talking about. in our own times now, we don't talk about comfort. We talk about luxurious things. Someone buys a car for 500 million. On which road in Nigeria will he drive that car? A car worth 500 million. Where will you drive the car? So we usually think about luxury. In fact, luxury to the extremes of it, while not being balanced, while not being fair, while not being considerate, while going beyond limits in these matters of comfort, in a place where to stay for a little while before we proceed, to a place of an everlasting stay. So instead of paying attention to investments for the life everlasting, we want to take all the luxury here, unfortunately, at the expense of the hereafter. The bad thing about the luxury itself, the worst thing about the luxury itself, is that most of the people race after luxury, not about comfort. They are already comfortable, but the race is about luxury at the expense of the hereafter. The race for luxury at the expense of the hereafter. The race for luxury at the expense of the hereafter. This is the problem for some of the people in our own times. But in the opposite of it, here we are talking about al-rifku fil ma'isha, being moderate and balanced in your affairs, being moderate, bringing moderation into your affairs of life, not being extraordinarily luxurious in your affairs. No, don't do that. Don't, because this place is a temporary place of stay. So the luxury itself should be limited. The comfort is there. We are not talking about comfort. But these days, the issue is about the life of luxury. May Allah protect us all and forgive our shortcomings. Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri, rahimahullah, has titled this chapter, he calls it Abdur-Raūf fil Ma'isha. And that happens to be hadith number 471, where Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri said, rahimahullah, حدثنا حرمي ibn Hafs. This hadith, Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri said, rahimahullah, حدثنا حرمي ibn Hafs قال حدثنا عبد-الواحد قال حدثنا سعيد بن كثير بن عبيد قال حدثني أبي قال دخلت على عائشة أم المؤمنين رضي الله عنها فقالت أمسك حتى أخيط نقبي أمسك حتى أخيط نقبتي فأمسكت فقلت يا أم المؤمنين لو خرجت فأخبرتهم لعدوه منك بخلا قالت أبصر شأنك إنه لا جديد لمن لا يلبس الخلق إنه لا جديد لمن لا يلبس الخلق. Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri rahimahullah has placed under this chapter heading the chapter about being balanced and moderate in our ma'isha, in our day-to-day lifestyle. In our ma'isha, be balanced. In your ma'isha, day-to-day life, be balanced. Live a balanced and moderate lifestyle. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has taught us in the deen to employ moderation in life. The narration that Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri has reported was from our mother Aisha. And Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri reports this from his Shaykh, Haramiyun ibn Hafs. Haramiyun ibn Hafs. That is one of the teachers of Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri, and he is the one from whom he has reported this hadith. He is Abu Ali Al-Basri. Haramiyun ibn Hafs. He is Abu Ali Al-Basri. He said, حدثنا Abdul-Wahid. That is Al-Imam Abdul-Wahid ibn Ziyad Al-Abadi Al-Basri. Just like Haramiyun ibn Hafs, Al-Imam Abdul-Wahid ibn Ziyad is also Basri, from the scholars of Basra. He said, حدثنا سعيد ibn Kathir ibn Ubaid. Sa'id ibn Kathir ibn Ubaid. Sa'id ibn Kathir ibn Ubaid is the one from whom Abdul-Wahid ibn Ziyad Al-Imām has reported this hadith. So he said, حدثنا سعيد ibn Kathir ibn Ubaid. And Sa'id is reporting from his father, that well-known companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Kathir ibn Ubaid. When I say Kathir ibn Ubaid is a well-known companion, we may be surprised. How come Kathir ibn Ubaid is well-known? I will tell us something about him, and then you understand why I say he will be well-known, especially amongst the scholars of Hadith. Kathir ibn Ubaid was a freed slave of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. And he had a favor. The woman who breastfed our mother Aisha also breastfed Kathir ibn Ubaid. So Kathir ibn Ubaid kana radi'a Aisha radiyallahu anha. He is radi'u Aisha. Kathir ibn Ubaid is who? Radi'u Aisha. The woman who fostered, provided fosterage for our mother Aisha. It was a very common sunnah at the time. If you have a child, you look for a woman of brilliance and intelligence to breastfeed that child along with her own child she's breastfeeding. It's the sunnah of our religion. It was a very, very common thing. The Prophet himself, alayhi salatu wasalam, had nursing mothers too. He had people who breastfed him too. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's a very common practice at the time. People look for a woman of honor, a woman of good prestige, a woman of brilliance, a woman of calmness and sedateness. They want that kind of a woman to breastfeed their child, hoping that from that, inshallah, Allah makes it a means of blessing for that young boy or girl. It was a common thing at the time. And it has ahkam inside our religion. A woman has a child. The child is breastfeeding. Or it may even be that the mother's breast is not producing properly. Or for whatever reason. They still take that child to a foster mother. The mother would breastfeed the child. I think it is prostrate in English. The second mother would breastfeed the child. So the child now has two mothers. The actual mother who gave birth to him, and the foster mother who also participated in breastfeeding the child. So if the child's actual mother is 40% brilliant, and the foster mother who breastfed him together with the mother is about 70% brilliant, you see, they have increased the chances of the brilliance of that child. And it was believed that breastfeeding is one of the means of transferring good character. The breast spiritually affects the child. You see that even amongst the mothers, we see it as a major connector in terms of affection and love between the child and the mother. So it has a lot of impact positively on the child. If you look for a good person to breastfeed your child, maybe a boy or a girl. So Aisha radiyallahu anha, her father Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu had Kathir ibn Ubaid as one of his slaves. So he had that child breastfed by the same person who breastfed Aisha, who was a freed slave of Aisha. But in history, they were both breastfed together. The person who breastfed Kathir ibn Ubaid was the same person who breastfed our mother Aisha radiyallahu anha. So they are foster brothers and sisters to themselves. It means they can see themselves. It means just like her own brother Muhammad or her own brother Abdur-Rahman from his father, Kathir can come into the privacies of our mother Aisha. Because of what? Kathir is her brother from fosterage, from breastfeeding. I hope that this is clear. when a boy and a girl become breastfed by one single woman, that boy and the girl become haram. They can't marry themselves. They become like mahrams to themselves. They can't marry themselves forever, not temporarily. So they can travel with one another. They can stay with one another in a privacy. They can go forth and backwards together. These are some of the rulings connected to that. So Kathir ibn Ubayd was Radi'u Aisha radiyallahu anha. And he was from amongst the Mawali, from amongst those that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq had as their freed slaves at the end of their period. So Kathir ibn Ubayd radiyallahu anhu is the one telling us what happened between himself and our mother Aisha. Apparently, this event might have taken place after the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had passed away, apparently. So Kathir ibn Ubayd, the father of Sa'id, he said, دَخَلْتُ عَلَىٰ عَائِشَةَ أُمِّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I came into the apartment of Aisha. So he has a right to go to her apartment. Why? Because Kathir ibn Ubayd was Radi'u Aisha radiyallahu anha. So he said, دَخَلْتُ عَلَىٰ عَائِشَةَ radiyallahu anha Ummul Mu'minin. So I came into the apartment of Aisha, Ummul Mu'minin, as they are brothers in prostrate too, as she is his sister in prostrate. He will still be referring to Aisha with that title that Allah gave Aisha. What is that title? Ummul Mu'minin. Yes, they were both breastfed by the same mother, but out of genuine respect and limiting, showing to Aisha the respect that Allah has shown to her. Because He told us in the Quran about the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, that an-nabiyyu awla bil mu'minina min anfusihim wa azwajuhu ummahatuhum. The wives of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ummahatuhum. They are mothers to the people of Iman. So that was why Kathir ibn Ubayd will still refer to our mother Aisha as what? As Ummul Mu'minin radiyallahu anha. So he said radiyallahu anha. He came to her apartment and then he said, فَقَالَتْ أَمْسِكْ حَتَّى أَخِيطَ نَقْبَتِي. She said, hey, hold on. حَتَّى أَخِيطَ نَقْبَتِي. She had a naqba. The naqba is a garment they wear in the lower part of the body. Say, hey, hold on. I want to akhit. I want to use the pin, the needle, to sew my naqba. I want to repair my naqba. I want to adjust my naqba. The naqba is something like a trouser, but it does not have the limbs in that cloth, drawn in the cloth. It's worn in the lower part of the body. I hope this is clear to us. Naqba is like a trouser, but it does not have the limbs. The material is not sewn to have the limbs, but it is worn in the lower part of the body. So she had a naqbatun, and she wanted to mend that. Mend is the word. She wanted to mend the naqba using her needle. So he said, hey, hold on. Let me mend my naqba before you come. So he said, فَأَمْسَكْتُ. So I held on, waiting for her to finish to mend her naqba. Like saying she has a skirt she wants to mend using the needle and the thread as clothes used to be mended in the olden times. Now we see mending clothes as something of the old. These days, I don't think any of us will be thinking about mending a clothes. You have a clothes, it became torn. Then you want to mend it to keep it to look clean and to look better than it is. So he said, so I held back from going to Aisha. فَقُلْتُ يَا أُمَّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So I said, oh Ummul Mu'minin, oh Aisha, radiyallahu anha. So you will see, despite the fact that they are both brothers and sisters by prostrate, Kathir ibn Ubayd still maintained decency and respect with our mother Aisha. The fact that they were both breastfed by the same mother, by the same woman, it did not prevent Kathir ibn Ubayd from still being respectful to Aisha. If it were in our time, we say, is it because you are the wife of the Prophet? Aisha. That is how harsh and indecent people may become in our own times. If it were in the earlier times, the respect that Allah has shown to that person, they would maintain it. That is why Kathir ibn Ubayd, despite the fact that he was a brother to Aisha by frustration, he would still maintain that sense of dignity and respect whenever he would refer to our mother. Instead of saying Aisha, Aisha, radiyallahu anhuma, he would prefer to say Ya al-Mu'minin, O mother of the believers. If it were a woman who has Abdullah, prefer to ask Abdullah. Don't say we were schoolmates. In fact, I was 2 years older than her in school. So her name is Sharifa. Sharifa. No, don't do that. Be decent. Be decent, don't be obscene. More so that Sharifa you are referring to, she's now the wife of another brother. Is it not from a show of respect to that your brother who has married Sharifa? Is it not from the aspects of respect and a sense of dignity and esteem for her husband for you to refer to her by her kunya? But these days people want to show an empty sense of superiority. That's how I refer to it. It's an empty sense of superiority. You were older than a brother's wife while in the school. So if you see her, show respect. Not just for her, but for her marriage, for her husband, and for her children. So Kathir ibn Ubayd, if it were in our times, maybe it was Aisha. I say, no, don't refer to that. I know we were breastfed by the same woman. So that means because you are both breastfed by the same woman, every sense of dignity should then be lost and thrown away. So for the sake of Allah, let us maintain these limits. Respect the people when they deserve to be respected. Don't look at how you knew them yesterday. Don't look at how you knew them 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Say, no, he was my junior in the university. Okay, then you begin to say all unprintable things about him. As for Kathir ibn Ubayd, he was a person of respect and honor for himself. And so he will show respect and honor for our mother. So he said, فَأَمْسَكْتُ. When she said, I should wait. So I waited. This is another area of showing respect and dignity. Some people say, why can you tell me to wait? Can't I enter your house? Am I not your brother in frustration? No. Say, I'm sick. Hold on. I want to mend my garment. So فَأَمْسَكْتُ. So I held on. فَقُلْتُ يَا أُمَّ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Then I was talking to her from behind the veil. I said, oh mother of the people of Iman, لو خرجت فأخبرتهم لعدوه منك بخلا. Now, if I would go out now, فأخبرتهم, to inform the people about what you are doing, لعدوه منك بخلا, they will consider it as from the aspects of greediness from you, that someone like you, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, you have a garment that got torn and you are mending the garment. If I go out now, people will say you are greedy. Behold you, the wife of the Prophet Muhammad, you are mending your dress. Your dress got torn. You are employing the needle and the thread to mend it. Law kharajtu. If I go out now for akhbartuhum and tell the world, la'aduhu minki bukhla, they will consider it as from greed from your angle. Or that, you know, our mother Aisha, radiyallahu anha, she's never found one thing in terms of giving a decent response. قالت, she said, radiyallahu anha, أبصر شعنك, أبصر شعنك, radiyallahu anha, Kathir, face your own affairs, O Kathir. Face your own affairs. Abusir sha'nak. Consider, look back into your own affairs. Get busy with yourself. Innahu la jadida liman la yalbasul khalq. Innahu la jadida liman la yalbasul khalq. Because definitely la jadida liman la yalbasul khalq. There is no saying, I have a new garment, if you would not wear one that was old. If you didn't have an old garment, what would you call a new garment? La jadida liman la yalbasul khalaq. The one who would not wear a cloth that was old, that needed some mending. What will he call a new cloth? What will you call a new cloth? So it is new because you have one that was old. It is new because you have one that was old. Meaning that as you seek to wear new clothes, they are new because you have an old one. If all that you ever wear are new clothes, then what do you call them? Someone has 100 pieces of clothes delivered to him by a tailor. 100. So which one is new amongst the 100? For the 100 days that he will wear those clothes, which one is new? So, but when you wear some today, of yesterday, you wear a new one. You wear yesterday, you wear a new one. You wear yesterday, you wear a new one. You wear those of yesterday, you wear a new one. Then you can say, oh, this one is new. From the Sunnah of Islam, when we see somebody dressing in a new cloth, we say to them that ilbas jadidan ko wamut wa'ish hamidan. Ilbas jadidan wa'ish hamidan wamut shahidan. Ilbas jadida. You are wearing, may you wear a new cloth. Wa'ish hamidan. May you live a prosperous life. Wamut shahidan. May you pass away at your time as a martyr. Then the person wearing a new clothes will say, Tubali wa yukhlifullahu ta'ala. Tubali. This one will grow old. The one that I have dressed in, it will grow old though. Wa yukhlifullahu ta'ala. And then Allah will replace it with something that is another one, another new one. Meaning that Islam expects that from this hadith of the Prophet Muhammad, alayhi salatu wasalam, when he teaches us what to say when a person dresses in a new cloth, it shows that the Muslim has both new and old clothes. Because if you wear a new cloth, you say, this is a new cloth you are wearing. We have a dhikr, we have a dua to say to you, ilbas jadidan. May you wear other new ones. Wa'ish hamidan. May your life be prosperous. Wamut shahidan. May you die as a martyr on the path of Allah subhanahu. He will now say, the person wearing a new cloth will now say, Tubali, this one will grow old. If you go to buy clothes in the market or supermarket, you always see, especially those old mamas. The problem we have today is that courtesy is lost. In the older times, when you buy a clothes from those old mamas selling clothes, they say something to you. They say, well, you go. It will be old. Meaning you have long life. And you wear it, and you wear it, and you wear it, and you wear it. You enjoy it, and you enjoy it, and you enjoy it. If you buy something in the evening times from a houseman, he will say, Ahuta Lafia, may you find rest this night. It's very common. Just go buy something. If you know that you understand the language and the way of life, he will tell you this expression. May you find rest this night. So the same thing applies. If you buy clothing material from someone, they will say, may you wear it. In fact, if it was a woman, they will say, your child will urinate on it. Your child will defecate on it. By way of making you understand that it will be with you, and then 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 with you. So this is what our mother Aisha radiallahu anha is talking about when she radiallahu anha said to Kathir ibn Ubayd that innahu لا جديد لمن لا يلبس الخلق. إنه definitely there is no wearing a new cloth for the one who would not wear a cloth that is old. Today we think that it is a thing of luxury. We never wear our old clothes. And in fact, many of us will not even still give it out to people who will see our old clothes as clothes to wear on the days of Eid. I remember a similar incident like that. Whenever it is near Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Kabir, there is a brother who goes to another brother. He'll be telling him, please, your old clothes, because there are brothers who will wear his own old clothes as the dresses for Eid. For them, those are the new clothes. So some of us will not wear those old clothes again. We will not mend the old clothes. We will not wear them. And then we will still not benefit them to those who are in a position. We make a brag with them. We store them up in a place. We begin to look at them and count them. Give them to the rest of your brothers. Give them. Some of us can. Some brothers, let me not say some of us. Some of the people cannot keep a cloth for 6 months. Not say keep a cloth for a whole year. Keep wearing it. Wear a cloth for 6 months. It may be once in a month. Once they wear it first, second time, then that's all. And this is very common. Sorry to say, but this is the truth. This is very common for many of those who appear in TV programs now. When they wear a cloth in a single edition of a program, they don't want to wear it in another edition. And unfortunately, they do those programs weekly. So they want to think that every week they have to buy a new dress. So if you buy, how many weeks do we have in a year? 52 weeks. So it means they have 52 sets of clothes for those set of programs. They want to appear 52 different ways in all the programs that they attend. This is not appropriate. It's not part of our religion. It makes people go beyond limits. They begin to live a life away from moderation because of the expectation of the people. Because of the expectation of the people, not because this is what is decent and balanced. How will newscasters be doing? Newscasters will have to change their clothes every day. And if they wear clothes one day, they don't like to repeat it again. From where have we seen this as Muslims? From where? Who taught us this? Wear your clothes. Wear it. Wear another one. Wear it. Wear another one. Wear it. Wear another one. Wear it. Don't spend all the money on just the clothes, the clothes, the clothes. I met someone who once said to me that she has 365 sets of clothes. She's my relative. 365. So if she wears one day, she never wears it again until the next year. So I said, so if you spend 3 years, 3 consecutive years, how many sets of clothes are those? So what do you do with them? Because the clothes that you dress in only once, that is nothing has happened to that cloth. What do you do with it? Why not spend the money to do something else? Why not give the money out in Sadaqah? The 365, why not give some of them out in Sadaqah? 365 new clothes. And in the new year, she has another 365. Which person's sunnah is this? She told me that something similar to that also occurs to her regarding shoes. So she has 365 sets of shoes. 2023 is going to an end now. So she'll be preparing for another set of clothes for the entirety of the next 2024. So this is going beyond limits. It's a luxury that Islam has not encouraged us upon at all. Let us be balanced. And I'm sure if you go to some of the richest people, they don't live like this. I was surprised. If you go to some of the richest people, their life is not like this. They are moderate in all these affairs, in all these matters. If you wear a cloth once in a month, or twice in a month, or twice in 3 months, it's not bad. It's not bad. The color has not changed. It's not bad. Yes, it is true. Sometimes you have clothes up to 30, 40 sets you take to the dry cleaner. So it means that for another 2-3 weeks, you don't have things to wear. So you can have clothes that you wear within 2-3 weeks, that before you get back your clothes from that dry cleaners. So you can make all these kinds of arrangements as far as necessity is concerned. But when it comes to the issues of just buying the clothes, the same thing applies to food. Because Al-Imām Al-Bukhāri, yes, he brought a hadith regarding clothes, but he generalized it that we should live a life of balance and moderation. So the same thing has to do with food. Many of us in our homes, we waste food. In some homes, if you open up the deep freezer, you see a lot of semo, a lot of amala, a lot of eba inside that they had eaten and left behind, eaten and left behind. Some people don't even refrigerate them. They throw them out, throw them away. You serve meals, you throw away. You serve 3-course meals. The man will eat 3 times in a single meal. And in all of that, you serve a lot, serve it a lot, serve it a lot. The following day, you say you don't want to warm the food. You want to cook a fresh meal. So the one you cooked yesterday will all be wasted and thrown away. This is not the life that is decent for a Muslim. I recall a brother in the UAE. If you go to a restaurant, he will tell you, just ask for what you will finish. It's a decent lifestyle. If you not finish it, why ask for it? Why ask for it? Have we not read repeatedly that Allah hates those who waste? So why should you waste the food? The same thing applies to our clothes that we wear. The same thing applies to our shoes that we wear. Why get something you don't need? Need must come from it. You don't need it. It's just a show of exuberance and a show of luxury to the extent that it goes beyond the sense of balance. So for the sake of Allah, from the aspects of arifku, from the aspects of moderation, is that we are moderate in our lifestyle. And that's why I see many of the people, when the present source of wealth goes away, especially politicians, they quickly, you see the descent. The man you see every day, he has a new clothes to wear, new dress, new this, new cap, new shoes, new this, new. When he leaves political office, he returns to the old self. What kind of lifestyle have you lived? Why not be balanced in every part of your life? Be balanced. Be balanced. Be balanced, oh brothers. I think for the want of time, we can stop here. And the lesson in class today is that we should be balanced in our lifestyle. We should be balanced in the way we live our life. Balance in our food. Balance in our drinks. Balance in our dressing. Balance in the shoes that we wear. Balance in the houses that we build. Balance in everything that we do. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam was reported in an authentic hadith to say that وَخَيْرُ الْأُمُورِ أَوْسَطُهَا alayhi salatu wasalam. The Prophet said, and the best of every affair are those ones that are balanced. Yesterday, a brother was asking me about someone who was said to have gold-plated a house. So I say, yes, we heard about it, we read about it, we saw the documentary. But where is the person now? Who is the person living inside that same gold-plated house? If you have 50 bedrooms in your house, you can't sleep in 2 bedrooms together at a single time. You can't. You can't sleep in 2 bedrooms together. You can't. And you decorated all 50 bedrooms. So let us be moderate in our lifestyle. Let us be balanced in our lifestyle. In what we eat, in what we drink, in where we sleep, what we wear, clothes in our dealings, be balanced. The cars we drive, be balanced. Be balanced for the sake of Allah. May Allah protect each and every one of us. I think it will be sufficient to stop here today, Abu-Rahman. We can go on with a few questions, and then we call it a day today, inshallah. Ameen.
The first question reads, was our mother Aisha radiallahu anha referred to as al-Mu'mineen by her father, Abu Bakr, as well?
Well, yes, he can refer to her as al-Mu'mineen. I'm not far away. She is al-Mu'mineen, and he is also involved in that. He is from the people of Iman. I don't see it as something far-fetched that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq can refer to Aisha as Mu'min. I don't see it far-fetched at all. Does he not refer to Rasulullah as Ya Rasulullah? Because that is a place that Allah has placed Rasulullah. So the place where Allah has placed Aisha was the place of being from amongst Ummahatul Mu'mineen. I don't see it as far-fetched at all that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq can refer to Aisha as Mu'mineen. It shouldn't be far-fetched. Now,
Shaykh, the next one reads, can such supplications be extended to the non-believers who are our relatives?
Which supplication? When
the one for the dress, yes.
No, you can't make such a dua for a non-Muslim. You can't make such a dua for a non-Muslim. How do you say wamut shahidan to a person who is already a kafir? Mut shahidan. May you die as a martyr. Martyr upon kufr. I think they need a bigger thing than this. If you can make dua for him for this, then make dua for him every day for guidance upon Iman. It's like someone who is suffering from malaria and you are talking to him about headache. His problem is more than headache. It will not be about paracetamol alone. So don't struggle about paracetamol when the man really requires a proper anti-malaria. So the real actual help you need for a non-Muslim is to make him become guided upon Islam. So don't make your dua become far away from this. More so when that dua you want to say to him has to do with connected to Iman. Shahada to what? Mut shahidan. Die as a person who testifies to Iman and the person is upon kufr. So the dua is not appropriate for a kafir.
Now, Shaykhana, salawatullahi alaykum. Another question, what can we do with old clothes if they are not fit enough to be given out? Should we burn them or what should we do with them?
Give it out. Give it out. Don't you think that you can't give them out? Give them out. Look for people who wear it. I tell you this. When we were younger than this, we used to go and look for, we call them Atorabara. We used to look for Meibara. Meibara take clothes. They take the clothes. Now we can start saying Meibara will take your clothes. You go and do something with it. Please let us leave aside all these fetish thoughts. Is it you that after Salatul Fajr your adhkars are full? Before you sleep your adhkars are full. That you are now afraid of one Meibara who can collect your clothes. Give them the clothes. Give people. Look for people to give. Then from the ways of seeking protection from Allah is giving itself. When you give, Allah protects you. So, but the evil people spread about videos people watch and things, incidences people have seen. From the people of Kufur to people of Kufur, from people of Kufur to people of Iman who are nonchalant about their Iman. They make people now run away from doing good. People will even hardly give sadaqah today. They are afraid. If I give him now, he will do something to you. Give him. And also stick to the adhkars regularly. So for the sake of Allah, let's not allow these things to dissuade us from what is appropriate. Yarhamukillah. Is this clear, Abu Amir? In all the cases, you say, no, this cloth cannot, nobody can wear, no other person can wear this cloth. Then you can burn them. Is this clear?
Now, there's a question here. It's a bit unrelated, but the question reads, Sheikh, kindly advise my sister. Her husband allegedly deceived her about his genotype. She found out that they were both AS after nikah. She is now pushing for a divorce at the moment on this basis. I made her join the class and Okay, which is why I've made the request. We would be grateful to have a response. May Allah reward you immensely.
You say alleged. The matters of marriage become more than alleging and alleging. You can say that she was allegedly deceived. I think this is not a proper way to say. And if it was the reality, then it means the matter should be addressed. The two of them should go to their community. Look for an elderly person of Sunnah in your community. An elderly person of Sunnah with good knowledge of Sunnah. He will sit you both down. He will listen to you. And then he will advise you appropriately. Is this clear, Abu Amir?
Naam, Shaykh. So,
yeah.
There is another question here seeking clarification, sir.
Yeah.
And the question is, please, is it Shaykh, may Allah accept your deeds and ours too. Please explain clearly, are you the founder of MSMMI or
I'm not Abu Amir.
Naam, Shaykh.
Is that the end of the question?
No, it's also meant, they said, are you the scholar behind their programs? Are you also participating in their next program on marriage as we see it all around?
Well, MSMMI, I'm not its founder, and I'm not a party to it. I'm not part of those who own it. I know those brothers in charge of it. But I'm not part of it. They invited me to the program about marriage some months ago. I had thought that I'll be able to attend the marriage program, give a lecture and leave. But when I heard about the details of the program, I felt I was not going to attend that program. So I apologized and left the program. That's lots of weeks ago, over 7 to 8 weeks ago. So I don't think I should still be advertised to participate in that program. If you see the advert, I think it's a mistake from the brothers. I don't think they will deliberately be advertising me that I want to participate in that program. I don't think they will be deliberate about it. It's either a mistake. If it is deliberate, I don't want to say it is deliberate. So it could have been a mistake from the brothers. Or perhaps from the earlier, publications they have made. I am not attending the program, and I am not the owner of the society or the group or the association. I am not. But I know those brothers who are there. And I have a number of times repeatedly mentioned to them privately. And I think I mentioned it in a public class too, about 2 or 3 classes ago in the Aisha's class, that I was not attending that program. I think up to yesterday, day before yesterday, questions are still coming to me that people are finding me being advertised for that program. I'm not a party to it, and I'm not attending that program. I think this will, for the last time, clarify this matter, inshallah. And I hope that the organizers of that program should make good efforts to get the public to be aware that I am not attending that program. And I'm not a party to organizing the program. Allahu Alam. I think this will clarify the issue for the last time, Abu Amr.
I'm Shaykhana, jazakumullah khair.
Ameen.
Naam, Shaykhana. Assalamualaikum.
Tomorrow, Ameen, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.